welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. We continue with football. The group stage of the Copa America in Brazil ended on Monday with the final two games in Group A. Ricardo Chambers has more.
Where Lionel Messi became the most capped player in Argentina's history with 148 appearances, the Albiceleste cruised to a 4-1 win over Bolivia in their final Group A fixture. Argentina got off to a fast start when just after 5 minutes, Alejandro Gomez made the most of a sublime pass from Messi to put Argentina 1-0 up. The Argentina captain then doubled their lead from the penalty spot in the 32nd minute. It was 3-0 shortly before half-time. Messi again.
Carlos Lampe caught in no man's land, and Messi just lofts it over him.
Erwin Saavedra managed to score a consolation for Bolivia on the hour mark to make it 3-1. However, 5 minutes later, substitute Arturo Martinez restored Argentina's 3-goal cushion with the simplest of finishes. In the other Group A fixture, a 21st-minute Edinson Cavani penalty sealed a 1-0 win for Uruguay against Paraguay. The victory lifted Uruguay to second in Group A, Argentina topping the group with Paraguay third and Chile fourth, meaning the last 8 matchups have been determined.
So who's playing who in the quarterfinals? Let's have a look. We have Peru up against Paraguay on Friday, July 2nd. Brazil will play Chile on Friday as well. On Saturday, there's Uruguay up against Colombia, and Argentina, they will be facing Ecuador. Well, joining us now to preview the quarterfinals is former Trinidad and Tobago international Brent Sancho. Brent, welcome.
Hey Mariah, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Oh no, I'm not good. I forgot. West Indies lost, so I'm not doing too well. But we're here to talk Copa America, and we're always happy to have you on the SportsMax Zone.
It's great to be here, and of course, we're talking Copa football. Look, there's a lot of people watching. Of course, we have such a wide display of sports on. But my argument is, what I've seen so far from the Copa is excitement, great football, good energy, good tempo. And to me, it's the best watch on television so far. So, yeah, I'm excited. We're down to the business end.
Definitely. And of course, we have the teams decided for their quarterfinal matches. Any teams that's there that should not have been there?
I think it's expected. Bolivia and Venezuela has traditionally been at the lower tier of South American qualification. And, I expected them not to move on to the business end of the stage. That being said, of course, as I said, the teams that are involved in it have been extremely inconsistent, which is strange because at the end of the day, we know what we get from a lot of these teams in South American football. But what we've seen so far in the group stages has been inconsistent. The only consistent team, arguably, is Brazil and Argentina.
Definitely, and of course I'm going to delve into that Peru-Paraguay matchup. How do you see that one turning out, Brent?
Well, Peru has been the surprise of the tournament so far, and their display has shown a gradual improvement in what they're good at. It's going to be difficult for Paraguay because Peru is a team that seems to be growing in confidence in every game that they've played. If I was to pick out, of course, one of the games of the schedule, I'd probably look at the Argentina-Ecuador game because Argentina, for the first time, and we here at SportsMax have covered Copa America for quite some time. It's the first time there's conversation about Argentina actually being able to go away with this championship. But Ecuador is a team that I suspect, I believe, and what I've seen from them could cause an upset or two. But that game in particular, Argentina-Ecuador, that's the game you need to keep your eye on.
Messi has not, been hiding this Copa America. He showed up, of course, that game yesterday. Some brilliant moves from Messi there. Can he continue to ensure that they seal it?
Look, Messi has never been the problem for Argentina. I think any Argentinian fan would say that to you. He's performed, he's done what he needs to do, and he's been a big character for the Argentinian team. I mean, I think from a leadership point of view, there may be some sort, of course, of discussion is if he is a genuine leader. But I think what he brings to the Argentinian team in terms of his ability on the pitch, in terms of his game-winning performances, in terms of his ability to bring his teammates into it, he's done that. The question for Argentina still, and has always been, is his supporting cast. Has his supporting cast done enough to make sure that Messi can win his first Copa America? And at the end of the day, this is the first time I've watched the Copa America and been part of it to suggest that maybe this might just be Messi's time.
Definitely, and of course, Brent, we all know how much, even if you're not an Argentina fan and you like Messi, people will be rooting for him to at least get this one under his belt.
Well, I'm a Brazilian fan, so I'm not rooting for him at all. But no, I think you're right, Mariah. I think I would like to look. I'd like to see him win. I think he's been a great servant to the game. Him and Cristiano Ronaldo, what they've done. You see, a lot of people don't understand. To do what they do consistently for such a long period of time, it's just remarkable. And I'm really happy if he does, and if he is able to go away with the Copa America title.
All right, so we're going to be talking about Brazil now. I think you'll fancy this conversation. Brazil up against Chile. Can they close this one out? Of course, Neymar doing what he has to do to get them over the line.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Neymar, Mariah, and what he's done so far as it relates to his performances with the Brazilian team.
Yeah.
Look, there's a lot of question marks around him as a player, what he does, what he can bring, etc. But I am really impressed with him. I'm really impressed with what he's been able to do. I'm really impressed from how he's played, how he's approached games. He's been a focal point for Brazil. And we saw in the last group game against Ecuador what his absence means to Brazil. I think without Neymar, Brazil is quite a very ordinary team. And he's bring a lot of not just star quality, but he's also brought the ability to win games. And I think that's key for a player of his caliber and his stature. And I think what he is able to do, if he's able to impart all of his attributes into this game, I could see Brazil getting past Chile.
And speaking about Neymar, he's been very outspoken this Copa America. Of course, the latest thing trending is Neymar talking about the poor conditions of the Copa America pitches. And of course, we know this is being held in Brazil. Do you see any changes being made to accommodate Neymar, or do you see him getting in trouble?
I don't think he'll get in trouble. And this is a conversation that we had even in the last Copa America about the Brazilian pitches. Of course, I was Brazil hosted the last competition. But you have to remember that this competition was not meant to be held in Brazil. It was meant to be held in Argentina and Colombia. And that was taken away from both countries because of the COVID, because of what the pandemic has done in both countries. So as much as you talk about the pitches in Brazil, I don't think, and to be fair to the various fixtures in Brazil, I don't think they had enough time to prepare these pitches. You have to remember as well, Mariah, the Brazilian domestic league is currently going on as well. So the persons involved in hosting the tournament in Brazil didn't have much time to prepare. So, the pitches are going to be a bit off.
Call this one for me, Uruguay, Colombia.
That's a tough one. And I think that's the one that most people want to watch. Uruguay, of course, with Suarez and of course Cavani, and they've been a bit out of sorts so far in the tournament. I may tip my hat a little bit to Colombia, despite the fact I think they've looked a bit not themselves, and they have a bit of an excuse because James Rodriguez, their playmaker, their talisman, their inspiration is not part of the tournament. And because of that, they've had to find other ways to try to win football games. You just feel that Uruguay have another gear somewhere in there. And the knockout stages of any competition in football starts to bring about that sort of conversation. And I just feel that Uruguay may have another gear somewhere in there. But I do think somehow Colombia might walk away with this one.
Well, Brent, thank you so much for chatting with us. And of course, I feel as if we're going to be talking again. Your team, Brazil, might end up against my team, Argentina. We'll see how that pans out.
Okay. Thanks, Mariah. I can only hope for the best.
Definitely, of course. Brent Sancho, they are former Trinidad and Tobago international footballer. Always good chatting with him. We take a break, and remember, the Copa America lives on your home of champions.